Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to another lesson. In this lesson, we are going to learn about IELTS Speaking Part 1. Our topic is going to be barbecues. Barbecues. In this lesson, we are going to look at some questions and some sample answers. I'm also going to give you some tips to help you score a high band in your IELTS Speaking Part 1. Now let's begin with the first question. Question 1. Do you like barbecues? Do you like barbecues? In that question, the examiner wants to know whether you like barbecued food. Do you like barbecues? Now, you can answer that question by saying sample answer 1. Yes, I really enjoy eating barbecued food because it tastes so delicious. My favorite foods to barbecue include steak, fish, prawns, and sausages. Every now and then I do grill vegetables such as bell peppers and sweet potatoes. So in that answer, I have told the examiner that I really enjoy eating barbecued food, and I also gave the examiner a reason as to why I like barbecued food, because it tastes so delicious. When food is delicious, it means that it's tasty. It means that it's very enjoyable to eat. I also told the examiner my favorite foods to barbecue, and they include steak, which is meat, fish, prawns, and sausages. And I do also grill vegetables. Now, when you cook anything on the barbecue, you grill it. So some of the vegetables that I grill include bell peppers and sweet potatoes. Now let's look at sample answer 2. Do you like barbecues? Yes, indeed. I'm a great fan of barbecues because I get the opportunity to eat mouth-watering food outdoors, often surrounded by my friends and family. So in that answer, I confirmed to the examiner that I absolutely love barbecued food. That's why I used yes, indeed. I'm a great fan. It means I really love barbecued food. I love barbecues. I'm a great fan because, remember, you need to give a reason for your answers, because I get the opportunity. Opportunity means the chance to eat mouth-watering. Mouth-watering means delicious. I get the chance or the opportunity to eat mouth-watering food outdoors. Outdoors means in the open air with my friends and family. So that's how you can answer this question. Do you like barbecues? You have 2 sample answers. You can choose whichever you find easier to pronounce. Now let's move on to question 2. How often do you have a barbecue? How often do you have a barbecue? In that question, the examiner wants to know how many times, maybe in a week, in a month, in a year, how many times do you have a barbecue? Now you can answer that question by saying sample answer 1. I have a barbecue once a week in my back garden whenever the weather is sunny, which happens to be in the summer. So I have told the examiner that I have a barbecue once a week. That is one time in a week in my back garden. Your back garden is the garden that is at the back of your house. And I do that whenever the weather is sunny, which happens to be in the summer. In the summer, it is very sunny. The sun shines. Now let's look at sample answer 2. I rarely barbecue because I don't own a barbecue grill, so I only get to eat barbecued food when my friends invite me over for pool parties. Moreover, my apartment has no balcony from where I could barbecue. Now, in this sample answer, I told the examiner I rarely barbecue. Rarely means that you almost never do it. Rarely means you don't do it often. And the reason for that is because I don't have a barbecue grill. You use a barbecue grill to barbecue. So the only time that I get to eat barbecued food is when my friends invite me over for pool parties. That is a party around the pool. Moreover, another reason as to why I don't barbecue very often is because my apartment has no balcony from where I could barbecue. Now, the balcony is the front part of your apartment. Okay, the front part of your apartment, right outside, that is your balcony. Now, if you don't have a balcony, then you can't barbecue, because where will you put your barbecue grill? So that's how you can answer this question. I have given you 2 sample answers to practice. Now let's move on to question 3. Do you prefer to have a barbecue with your family and friends? Do you prefer to have a barbecue with your family and friends? In this question, the examiner wants to know whether you like having a barbecue alone or with your family and friends. What do you prefer? What do you like better? Now you can answer this question by saying sample answer 1. Absolutely. Inviting my friends over for a barbecue and grilling different foods for them creates an awesome ambience full of merrymaking as we all enjoy the scrumptious food together. It does also give me an opportunity to catch up with everyone and create wonderful memories. So in that answer, I told the examiner that I really do prefer inviting my friends over for a barbecue. Okay, I prefer inviting my friends over for a barbecue and grilling different foods for them because it creates an awesome ambience full of merrymaking as we all enjoy the scrumptious food together. Now, grilling is what you do when you're cooking barbecued food on the barbecue grill. You grill the food. You cook the food above the grill with fire. The next word is ambience. Ambience means atmosphere. Ambience means atmosphere. Merrymaking is having fun. an atmosphere full of merrymaking. If you're merrymaking, then it means that you're having a lot of fun. The next word is scrumptious. Scrumptious food is delicious food. Delicious means tasty. It is very enjoyable to eat. It does also give me an opportunity to catch up with everyone. To catch up with somebody is to find out how they are doing. You have not seen them for a long time and you want to catch up. So you want to find out what's been happening in their life and to create wonderful memories. Wonderful means good memories. Memories are things that they are your thoughts about the things that you have done in the past. Those are your memories. When you remember, the things that you remember from the past. Now let's move on to sample answer 2. Do you prefer to have a barbecue with your family and friends? Not really. My personal preference is to have a quiet barbecue with my wife and children because it is more intimate and cheaper. I only invite friends and family on special occasions. So in that answer, I have told the examiner that my personal preference means your personal choice, what you yourself prefer, what you would rather do. Your personal choice, your individual choice is to have a quiet barbecue with your wife and children. And you gave the reasons why. Because it is more intimate. Intimate means personal and cheaper. But you also said, I only invite friends and family on special occasions. Special occasions are when you have something special that you're celebrating. For example, a birthday or maybe a wedding. That is a special occasion. Now, let's move on to question 4. Did you have barbecues when you were a child? Did you have barbecues when you were a child? In that question, the examiner wants to know whether when you were a child, you had any barbecues. Now you can answer that question by saying, sample answer 1. Very rarely. My parents had no barbecue grill, so the only time I went to barbecues was when my family was invited to an outdoor wedding or birthday party. So in that question, I told the examiner that I hardly, very rarely means that you hardly do something. Very rarely, almost never. My parents had no barbecue grill, so we never had any barbecues when I was a child because we had no barbecue. We had no barbecue grill. So the only time I went to barbecues was when my family was invited to an outdoor wedding. Outdoor means in the open air. When you have a wedding that is taking place outside, that is an outdoor wedding. And most outdoor weddings have barbecues. Now let's look at sample answer 2. Did you have barbecues when you were a child? Yes. Every summer, my father would barbecue for the entire family in the front garden and invite a few neighbors. We would then play our favorite music and dance the entire evening. So in that sample answer, I have told the examiner that yes, when I was a child, we had barbecues. Every summer, my father would barbecue for the entire family. Entire means whole family in the front garden. Now, your front garden is the garden that you have in front of your house. If you have it at the back, then we call that a back garden. So every summer, my father would barbecue for the entire family in the front garden and invite a few neighbors. We would then play our favorite music and dance the entire evening. Entire evening means the whole evening. So that's how you can answer this question. Now let's move on to question 5. Do people in your country like to have barbecues? Do people in your country like to have barbecues? Now in that question, the examiner wants to know whether the people who live in your country, that is your countrymen and women, whether they like to have barbecues. Now you can answer this question by saying sample answer 1. Absolutely. Almost everyone has their barbecue grill lit in the summer. The supermarkets stock special barbecue meats and vegetables at cheap prices, which encourages everyone to barbecue and enjoy eating their food sitting outside. Absolutely. Almost everyone has their barbecue grill lit. Now, lit is a verb that means that you light a fire. Okay, you light your grill. Normally, you light your barbecue grill. The supermarkets stock special barbecue meats and vegetables. To stock, it means that the supermarkets, they make sure that they have a lot of special barbecue meats and vegetables in the summer at very cheap prices, and that encourages everyone to barbecue and enjoy eating their food sitting outside, outdoors in the open air. Now let's look at sample answer 2. Do people in your country like to have barbecues? Not at all. Majority of the people in my country think that barbecued food is unhealthy and tasteless. The few that like it buy the food from street vendors that are located all over the city. Not at all. Majority of the people. The word majority means that most of the people. Most of the people. Majority. Most of the people, okay, in my country think that barbecued food is unhealthy. Unhealthy is the opposite of healthy. If it is unhealthy, it means that it's not good for your health. Now, the other word is tasteless. Some people think barbecued food is tasteless. Tasteless means that it has no taste. Food is either tasteful or tasteless. Tasteless means that it has no taste. And the few that like it, that is the few people who in my country who like barbecued food, they buy the food from street vendors. Street vendors are the people who sell food on the street. Okay, we call those street vendors. Now, let's move on to question 6. Actually, that brings us to the end of the lesson. If you found this lesson helpful at all, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with somebody else so that they can also benefit from the lesson. Now, before I sign off, I'm going to give you a few tips to ensure that you score a high band in your IELTS speaking test. Tip number 1, make sure that you listen very carefully to the examiner so that you understand the question. Tip number 2. For each of the questions, don't simply say yes or no. Make sure that you provide at least 2 to 3 points for each question. Tip number 3. Join your points together using linking words like I have done in my answers. Tip number 4. Make sure that you use the correct vocabulary for the topic that you are talking about. The next tip, if you're aiming for a band 8 or a band 9, make sure that you use a lot of compound and complex sentences. A compound sentence has one linking word. A compound sentence has one linking word. A complex sentence has more than 2 linking words. And finally, try to be as fluent as you can. How do you improve your fluency? Through practice. Now, if you have an accent, that is not going to affect your band score. What is going to affect your band score is if the examiner does not understand what you're saying. Now, those are the tips that I would give you to help you score a high band. Remember once more, subscribe, like, and share. Now, thank you very much, and I shall see you in our next lesson. Bye bye.